How many things did I forget to set up before the stream? Before the stream. Too many things I need to click on. Microphone check. Microphone check. People upstairs, stop thumping around. I hate you. I wish you lived on the ground floor. Telephone, don't go to sleep. Oh, actually, no. That's not the answer. Streamlabs, Stream Deck makes everything work great. Ah, heck. Everything's working, right? Yes. Alright. No buttons available. Oh, there you go. Parfait. Parfait. Alright. Still haven't figured out where to put this. Need to put some Velcro on my phone. And all I need is my chat box now, which I keep somewhere. Somewhere in here. I have, oh, there it is. My Restream chat. Oh, I wonder if this will pop out, actually. Does this pop out? Do you hear a little pop-out window? You're probably not a little pop-out window. But if you were a little pop-out window, I'd pop you down here. I'd be able to read you. There. Pop that over there. And everything's popped up nice. Perfect, right? Now in theory, Ripley, if I press this Ripley button, you'll be there, right? There you are. Meow, 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 meow. No, I didn't want you to talk. Shh. All right, Space Goody and Pat are up in the chat. Excuse me. Hey guys. And if I could just get used to. Oh, this isn't right. This isn't right at all. Ripley, the tablet's falling. Grow some thumbs. Don't smile and look away. Oh, you're so adorable. I can't stay mad at you. Can't stay mad at you. You're the sweetest, sweetest angel. Oh, I'm not the sweetest angel. This debate has been going on way too long. I am also a sweet angel, if not the sweetest angel in the history of angel sweetness. I mean, I'm practically covered in that sugar coating. That's like on good sugar coated stuff. I don't mean sour things, because you know how sour things, it's like, you're not, this is sweet. You're like, oh, this hurts. Why does this hurt so much? But at the same time, you're kind of like, oh, it feels good. It feels good inside me somewhere. Like, you know, when you drink a big pile of pop, you're like, that was awful and I'm going to puke myself. But you're still like, you know what would go great? Another glass of pop. Soda pop. What are we talking about? I don't even know what's going on anymore. Oh, yeah. How I'm also a sweet angel? I'm a sweet angel. No, you're not. I forgot to make sure you're somewhere reasonable. You seem to be fine. You seem to be fine. Meow. Hey, you gotta get better on those buttons. You gotta make sure you know which cat you're talking to over there. So anyway, how come everything seems a little bit frantic for this episode and you don't want to put yourself on screen right away? Did you happen to, I don't know, accidentally start to cut your hair a little bit and then you had to finish it? Because you weren't planning on cutting your hair, you were like, hey, let me get this little stray area here. And then you know that's why. You know that's why. Oh my god. Is this synced up? I think it's close enough. I messed around with a whole bunch of settings. Anyway, why do you keep talking about settings? Again, get faster with the button. People are watching. You're terrible at all these things. Ripley, play the intro. Ripley? I said Ripley. I tell Ripley to play the intro. I am the intro master of intros. Ripley, intro.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And tell your hot mom.
Hot mom?
There's no such thing as grownups.com.
That's a website. And why am I reaching for the mouse? I got all the buttons on my phone now. Oh, Jamiroquai. I said. Anyway. Tilt. That's better. That is better. Milo's always sassy. He's just more sassy the less I'm ready to start a show. But, hey CTK, avocado shakes, and this isn't a touchscreen. This isn't a touchscreen. How did I do this last week where I had room to read the chat, but also space for the drawing thing? I don't... Somehow this worked. Somehow this worked. Can I squish it? Oh, squish it up pretty good. That's good. And we'll take this, squish it over here a little bit. Yeah, that's going to affect that window. Alright, still reasonable, still reasonable. And now, we go... No, pen! Oh, that was close. That was so close. If we go over to this camera... Oh, it's still good. It's still good. It's just in the other camera, it's a little bit crazy. Oh, except... Alright, there we go. 6 feet. My arm's 6 feet long, right? That's why he's got a mask. He's got a mask. And, oh, man. Camera 1. Yeah, tried to just be like, yeah, I can just... No, sorry, this side. That's better. Yep, fixed up that little thing. Might as well even it up on this other. This side went right to the skin. This side was just a little trim. Oh no. I'm about to do a live streaming. Alright then, I guess this is what I'm doing instead of checking the settings again, which is what I was planning on doing. But as I'm watching right now from here to over there, it looks like it's running better than last week because I took the settings of the first guy on Instagram, on YouTube, and they were great. Excuse me. Some fresh homemade juice that I made, not so fresh, I guess I made it around lunchtime, whenever that post on Instagram went up of the blender spinning. Anyway. My name is Curtis. And I'm Milo. And I'm over here as well. And you almost lost the voice while you were trying to swallow some juice. That's fine. That's okay. And of course, Ripley is over there. Stop doing other things, alright? You can be a sassy jerk, but you don't get to introduce other things, okay? You're just there for whatever reason. I don't even know. Hi, Ripley. Good job. Can you cut back to me now, sweet angel? That will be amazing. So yeah, Ripley's running the 1s and 2s back there, and that's what we do. And yeah, made some kale, banana, raspberry, blueberry, blackberry, flax, orange juice, lemon. Put a lemon in there, and some purple juice. It's called like Deliciously Purple. It's like a mix of purple stuff. It says it has vitamins in it. Anyway, this is what we do. I don't know. Someday, I will pay somebody money, and they will fix it. Actually, from this angle, with this level of contrast, not too bad. Not too bad. So today, I made notes today so I wouldn't forget. I'm sure I even had something written for me and Milo to do instead of whatever I just did. Ripley, sweet angel, can you just blink for 2 seconds? Just for 2 seconds, that'll be amazing. Oh, I'll just the notes. Oh, here we go. And, oh, good. We'll just keep hitting the microphone around. Everyone loves that.
Meow. 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 Meow.
Yes, I'm ready. Calm down. No need for you to do whatever it is you were about to do.
Meow. Meow.
Oh, wrong one.
Meow. 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 Meow.
Oh, I want to be in that rubber. Oh, when those saints go hanging out. Hey! That's kind of a Simpsons ripoff now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm totally just stealing from the Simpsons. When I say me, I mean Ripley. I take no responsibility. Ripley's over there starting things, and I'm just finishing them. Somebody makes a baby, I put it to bed. That's how I roll. That is just how I roll. You got some snow. I'll also roll that. I will not make the snow bad, but I'll something about making the balls. I don't even understand what's going on anymore. Not really used to finding these buttons. So mostly Milo has to keep talking while I try to find these buttons. I gotta figure out a way to put pictures here. They need pictures. I don't read fast enough, guys. I don't read fast enough. If you watched the Sega stream on Sunday, I played some Sega. And every game that had some story text going by, I'm going to say 90% of the time, I could not keep up with it. Read super slow. Read super slow. So, go to our rough layer, as per usual. It's like 2.5 hours long. I played Streets of Rage for way longer than I expected. And then I played some Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Mario ripoff. That was boring. Played that for like 2 seconds. Threw a couple of just random games on that were just like Kid Chameleon. Tried to get back into that again. It was awful. And then finally just played some Sonic 2. There's lots of seeds in this juice. Played some Sonic 2 for a while. But yeah, I think it's more fun. Also, like, I like Streets of Rage mostly because people have names, and I like just saying character names as we're fighting. But Dead Rising, I think that's kind of the ultimate streaming game where it's like, I don't care what's happening, nobody cares. It's just zombie onslaught, and you do whatever you can do. That's white on white. That's not gonna do anything. Blue. But I have some other zombie games to play. I'm gonna try to, instead of working on stuff or thinking I should be working on stuff, and just like, if I throw in a video game, I'm just gonna throw on, or instead of doing nothing or doing something, I'm gonna try to do more nothing and relax and play some video games. So I'll try to do that some more, because it is fun, and it's even more fun when you're just making up theme songs for everything that's happening, or any of the characters that show up, or just talking about, anything that's on screen, and just judging it as if it's like America's Funniest Home Videos. It's America's Funniest Home Video Games, is what it is, now that I think about it, just enough to disgust myself, but it is totally a, oh, I'm the dog, I'm pushing the rock, oh, I fell over. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing for 2.5 hours, just making fun of Sonic, Tails, yelling at Tails relentlessly because he's so useless. I think I actually noticed on Instagram the ad for Civilization 6, is it? Patrick? And the only thing I noticed about that game is I would never play a Civilization 6 game, or any of those games, in 1,000 years, in an entire civilization, if you will, if not multiple civilizations. At the here's how I can turn everyone against me real quick. At the weekly meeting this week today, we did some. Well, I didn't. I had nothing to do with it. I just thought I was like, this is adorable. This is adorable. But some customized like Streamlabs sweaters and hats and like easels and I don't know, decorations. I don't know what this game is, but I almost said it again. I have to think about it real hard. Animal Crossing. There we go. So there's some like stuff for Animal Crossing. I have zero idea how that works. It wasn't until like maybe a week or two ago that Laser Sharks posted a picture of like some wolf character singing at her, and it sounded awful and it looked boring, and I just typed like, this is Animal Crossing? This is what people have been going crazy for? I thought it was like, hey, we're going places, we're all playing mini games together. It's like Mario Party, except across the world and with everyone, and maybe with other little animals crossing into your place, or you're the animals crossing over with Jordan. I don't know. I thought it was fun. And but it's Farmville, right? So at the meeting, I'm like, oh yeah, so Omar and Albert, like, they made some of this customized stuff for, and I honestly can't think of what it's called right now, except for Farmville 2. And I know there's been a Farmville 2, but I'm just like, Farmville the Next Generation, whatever it is, I'm over here, and everybody I work with, except for the other old guy, talks about, hey, Farmville Friday, guys, not Farmville. Animal Crossing Friday, guys. Let's all play Animal Crossing. I still don't understand what other than, hey, you can take a look at my place, and it's just accumulating stuff and putting things together. Maybe it's like a prettier Minecraft, but Minecraft seems like you can build more things. I don't know. I don't understand. It does seem adorable, but yeah, like I said, like Laser Shark was like, no, like, it's great. I was like, yeah, I'm sure, like, you love it. That's awesome. Like, I love a lot of things that people don't love. The Eels, for example, the band The Eels, headed by Mark Oliver Everett, whose dad is like the father of like string theory or physics or something like that. He was like some kind of crazy genius. Nobody ever knows who they are. They're on a lot of soundtracks, and most people I'm just like, oh, like this song. They're like, oh, what if we just didn't play music when we hung out? No problem. I get that a lot. I don't know. I think they're fantastic, and I find it very rare when I meet somebody who does know who they are or recognize any of the songs. But they at least usually know Novocaine for the Soul. Mostly because it's in every soundtrack ever. But yeah, if you've watched a Shrek movie, they're on every Shrek soundtrack for sure. Okay, I have a vague idea of what I want to happen in today's comic. But I can't. Still haven't quite fleshed it out. Why don't you just ask me? Why don't you just ask me what I would say in the comic, and then I'll just tell you what I'm gonna say, and then you put that in the comic. I mean, it's a super meta thing. Like, we're basically talking about being in the comic within the comic while you're making the comic. So outside of the comic, while we're still in this semi-animated version of the comic, why don't you just turn to me and say, hey, what are we doing today? Guy? Huh? And then I'll be like, let me tell you, stupid beard face. And then, shh, without being mean. Have I even put it on the drawing camera yet?
meow.
I mean, I guess that's a good idea. But I feel like there's a chance that things will just get out of hand real quick. A grudge against eels? No, I said I loved them. I loved them. Actual eels, even more so. I spend so much of my childhood beach life just trying to catch an eel with my bare hands. And or building nets out of whatever was around to try and catch an eel that was always, always infinitely smaller than the holes in the homemade nets that we would make. So yeah, I don't think I ever caught one. I believe Ryan caught one at least once when I wasn't there. But it was fun. We also spent a lot of times trying to catch snakes. Just like the little ones. Terrified to death of seeing bigger ones. That's kind of why I can't go out into like deeper water. I mean, I never could, but I definitely can't now. Thanks to the internet. Constantly reminding, hey, bet you didn't think about this, huh? Check out this shark in an area where you didn't expect it. Alright, cool. Eels? No. I mean, I'm sure some of them, if they could get a bite, get latched on, they'd probably bite really good. No, they're just like snakes. They're just like tiny little garter snakes, the ones we were getting, except a little more flat than round, but still fairly round. And no, they're not electric. Oh my god. I grew up in Nova Scotia. We don't have electric eels everywhere. But I mean, I don't know. I think anytime I ever saw one when I wasn't trying to catch them, like that was it. I was out of the water for hours because like there was always like sandy area, and then what they would call eelgrass, just and it was just like, oh, like doing my best not to let my feet go anywhere near the eelgrass, and whatever, when we would like throw stuff in the water to go diving for it and whatnot, if anything landed in the eelgrass, it was like, no deal, Ryan or whoever, one of the smaller kids who isn't afraid of eels, go get it in the eelgrass. I'm not doing it. I haven't been to most of Nova Scotia. And now I've been to less. So anyway, base idea, I was starting to think, same as always, still some sort of commentary on society. And lately, I'm sure it's just called seaweed or something, but like when we grew up, it was just called eelgrass, and so I automatically assumed there's always eels in the eelgrass. Usually there was just little fish, starfish, normal things. Don't know if I ever saw an eel in it, but yeah, growing up in Cape Breton, there was always different words. Like we've been fairly over this, but eelgrass. But yeah, there was at the beginnings of the internet / before that, there was like, hey, here's a printout or a photocopy of a bunch of Cape Breton terms, and then eventually it was like a web page, and now there's like a whole book. And every once in a while, I'll be at a place where people will test me or be in the middle of testing somebody on all of the words. And I have no idea if eelgrass is one of them. I know that ice clampers is, which is just like kind of ice flows. And lots of fun, crazy words. So anyway, base idea, some kind of, oh no, I've never eaten eel. If Daryl was in here, in the chat, he would tell us all about eating eel. Actually, was it eel that he sent? Some kind of flatfish. At one point on the podcast, we recorded it. Daryl, he's from Newfoundland. He's all about fish and all about trying to get me to eat fish. And I am not about eating fish. But he sent this, like, dried, flat, like, Pop-Tart fish. I can't remember what he called it. It had some kind of name. And, I can't remember what it was. It was a flatfish. I feel like it was like, maybe it was like a splayed out eel for some reason, but I think it was just some other kind of fish. And he was like, yeah, you just take it, and it was like kind of hardened into like Pop-Tart-ish shape. And he's like, yeah, you just throw it in the toaster like toast, and then you eat it. And we're like, all right, this is gonna be cool, I guess. And minute one, like in the toaster, was just like, no, like get this out of here, get this out of here. It was like, was this a trap? Did you Admiral Akbar's I don't know what part of Admiral Akbar would I consider that a piece of, but like it felt like it was a trap, right? Like that was, you Ashton Kutchered us, you Admiral Akbar Kutchered us. That doesn't work, but it was just like a stink bomb, just like, oh my god, like I'm done. We can't finish. The rest of the podcast is about trying not to throw up on the podcast. And maybe it was, man, I think he might have just actually called it toaster fish. But yeah, like I said, like I don't think I even so much as took a bite of it at all. I can't remember if Tara might have tried to take a bite of it, but was like, no, this isn't right. But I think it was pretty much like, it's in the toaster. I don't know if we know how to get it out of the toaster. We're throwing this toaster away. I think we might have just fired the whole toaster with the fish still inside it away. I might be over-exaggerating, but there's a very good chance I'm under-exaggerating. And that's not an exaggeration. It's more of a question in my own head. Gunchucks. I was thinking gunchucks. So either like the theme of the comic is gunchucks, or like the punchline could be gunchucks. And I'm like, check out my gunchucks. Like, my gunchucks? What? If like, you got two pairs of guns, like a pair of guns, that's just two guns, and then you chain them together with a chain, just like a Michelangelo, and you swing them around like nunchucks, but they are also guns. And I think that it would be fun to call them gunchucks. And therefore, I don't know, you're either like, hey, what should I do about the scariness of society? And I'm like, do what I did and get some gunchucks, and they'll say something funny about gunchucks that you still have to think of. Or you're like, society this, society that, and I'm like, you just go down to Walmart and say, I need the society scary special, and you're like, well, what's that? And I'm like, gunchucks, and I'm swinging around some sweet, sweet gunchucks. Right? How about that? Is that a good idea? I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. I don't think we might have been drinking. Definitely not enough to warrant toaster fish. Oh, now that you have your idea, you don't need me anymore? I'll just be over here silently staring off with nothing to say while you just draw pictures. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just mind my own business and everything will be great. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. But we all know that's not true, and it's not going to happen. Oh yes. So on the weekend, I started working on some shirt designs again, or at least working on something. I don't really know, but for some reason, oops, yeah, it's locked. So I was working on the Milo Unacceptable shirt. I still have to redo the text. I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just draw it myself, and still have to do some white outline and whatnot, but whatever. He still needs better text, but I'm like, I should do something. Why? Because at work, just yesterday, I did like 3 awesome one of them I was so impressed with. Like one t-shirt design for the streamer that I'm just like, I've never done anything this great for myself. That's not fair. And I did 3 of them in like a day. I can't seem to do one for myself in like 3 weeks. So I'm gonna do this. So instead of this, I did this, just like a trace off of Harold Ramis, the Ghostbuster, and in his glasses, I just made it all kind of purple and stuff. But there's like on the left is Ray, and then the 2 guys in the middle on both sides are Peter, and then on the far right we've got Ernie Hudson. And yeah, I'm mixing up their real names with their character names, and I think that's okay. So I think I'll try to throw that in the shirt store, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, and I feel like, oh, that was Space Goonie. Yeah, I guess that's it. Anyway, I'm just gonna draw these guys, have these guys talking, and as they do, just reuse. Damn it. We'll cheat our way down. Why? Because cheating is what makes the world go around. Ooh, I forgot I had a segue into my other thing. So let's forget about the stealing segue for... Oh no, this still works with the stealing segue. Excellent. Let's go to the big hammer, Ripley. Ooh, I think we're about to have a thunderstorm too. You know what's great? Heat still hasn't turned off for a few days, so it's real hot in here, so I got all the windows open. So if it does start raining like crazy, I might have to throw all my stuff away and go closing windows. But I think those waterfalls will not have to be chased today, and I can stick to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to. But I'm gonna get my own way, or nothing at all. But it's too late for me now. Hey. Oh yeah, CTK is all about the thunderstorms. She's a real Garth Brooks over there. Well, it's gonna rain anyway. I can't promise you no thunderstorms. Pat's a few hours away, so he's not your weatherman. I'm gonna assume that Thunder Road is a Garth Brooks song. Or is that the Thunder song? I no idea. I guess I assumed it was called Thunder Rolls. Thunder Road sounds about right, because he's like driving home, right? That's the one, because he was all about his music videos being like short movies. And the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love goes cold on a Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night, and the thunder's really rolling. Garth Brooks, baby. Chris Gaines is here at the party. Where's Garth, baby? Of course he does. If a dad has a band, then he's gonna be playing that Thunder Road song. Oh yeah, I was about to talk about stealing stuff and copying things. So, like I don't know. I've never been one to watch weird things on YouTube or go down YouTube rabbit holes that like people talk about all the time. It's usually still like the same stuff I kind of always watch from the same people. But every once in a while, I'll go, maybe one or two Kevin Bacon runs. Like, I'm not going 6 degrees, and I'm not going super far down no rabbit holes. But like I said, lately I'm always watching weird Nintendo video game documentaries, if you want to call them that. Edutainment pieces, or people doing like synthesizer. I don't know. It says like tutorial on, I guess, half the time, but it's just a demo of just like, hey, I think I'll do this. Beep boop boop. That's gonna be good. And then what about this? Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. All right. And then now, of course, beep boop bop boop 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 boop. And then we'll start putting those together, and we'll lay these in, and just like, and I know what all these buttons do, so it has good timing. And then there you have it. It's that Daft Punk song everyone knows. Like, it sure is. Wow. I'm not good at keyboards. Why did I make you so big? Oh, I want you to scale. So, one of the things that I ended up in the weirdness, it still usually culminates in something either Batman or Nintendo related. Yeah, I think he's probably the best of the Garth brothers. Good at drums. So, again, not a rabbit hole at all. Right on the front page of YouTube for me. Hey, we think you might like this or be interested in this. And I'll be damned. I'll be GD'd if YouTube wasn't a little bit super right, but also like, oh, I'm mildly going to explode that this exists. But Tiger King exists, so we're living in post-Tiger King world where everything is a documentary, everything is up for discussion and should be discussed. So the thing, we already know how I feel about memes. So it was like behind the meme. Like, what are you talking about behind the meme? There's nothing behind the meme. You stole this, you stole that, you Voltron them together until it was one new thing. And that's fine. That's what everybody does. That's how things come to exist. All right? It's literally, again, that with that part. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Garth Brooks is in jail? The meme was the Batman slapping Robin meme that we all know. It's been used a billion times. A billion times. She's like, but what about the story behind that meme? And she had me because I'm like, I don't actually know what the deal is with Batman slapping Robin in Batman canon. And the Tiger King, yeah. Forgot I already mentioned his name. I keep hearing that Garth Brooks he seems like a really good guy. He's another Tony Hawk, I think. He's just a good guy who makes stuff, and he's just tries to make stuff. And yes, sometimes you got to make up other characters to get your point across sometimes, because, you know, it's hard for you to represent yourself, so you need a Chris Gaines or a Hannah Montana. Or me, I could be the other side of this coin. I could figure songs that go doing doing, and then hey, we're over here, man, making up songs like Chris Gaines and eating some ham. So anyway, so for one, Robin definitely wants to get slapped around by Batman. That's clear. Nobody wears little sequin shorts like that and pixie boots unless they kind of want to get a few beatings, spankings, if you will. But the real reason, I'm just like, oh, in my head, I'm just like, I already knew that it was like Batman was like, you know, being controlled by Ra's al Ghul or something. It's like I already had such a solid made up reason in my head for like the thousands of times that, you know, Superman is like trying to murder Jimmy Olsen covers and stuff like that, where I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't know. Then tell me, internet lady, why is Batman slapping Robin? And she goes on with a bunch of comic book information, some meme, like, this is what memes are. This is how memes are coming about. And I'm like, what's happening right now? And it really is just like, hey, here's the history. Like, it's been often used for this and for that. Like, it's only been around for like a few minutes. Oh my god, it's happened. Like, nostalgia, like, has it's the use of media, the ingestion of media, the processing of things has become so fast. All the DJs say damn, but so fast that if it was a drug, it was sold by the gram. But so fast that the nostalgia window, the nostalgia tail that something has on all these little comets, it's just gotten so short where it's like, yeah, we are watching documentaries about, like we're watching stuff about the Tiger King. Like, not the Tiger King documentary, stuff about the Tiger King documentary, and that just came out, so it's like we're already doing the whatever. And I mean, even Walking Dead, they had their show about, like, what's going on in that show. Like, let's remember that. Like, it just finished, guys. It just finished. Yeah, I know, but we really got to take a look back at, you know, what happened in an hour ago. Let's let it sink in for a minute. No. And yeah, like, that's pretty much it, Pat. Like, I think for most things, you know, especially like the live streaming stuff, it is like, yeah, 45 minutes later, like, nobody cares. That happened 45 minutes ago. What relevancy will this live stream have to me 45 minutes later? I mean, it's practically the next day, really. And what from yesterday can teach us anything or even interest us in the day after that? Like, I mean, get with the times, which is now, and while you're way back at 45 minutes ago. But still, the nostalgia part keeps it alive. So she's talking about, like, the meme part of it, and I'm like, just tell me the Batman part. So like, this is gonna sound super crazy, but a long time ago, so racist. It's got to be some sort of whatchamacallit, allegory for life. I'm just trying to read everyone's white comments on a white background. Real deep, man. Real deep. That's not deep at all. That is just, you're just saying a thing, and you're just, if you say it slow enough with enough pauses, then you make it just sound deeper and more impactful on the learning of history and society. And I mean, yeah, that's what this whole thing is. You repeat yourself 2-3 times, change the words on the second time, definitely on the third time, as if like, now I've made a real point. Oh wow, you guys are actually reading it on that screen. Wow. Would have thought you'd be reading it off to the side, but then you wouldn't see everything. I have lost. There we go. Oh yes, that's what I was doing. So if I go back here, it's hard to zoom in. Keeping the dark part. Oh, I know. I can grab this. And I go up here. Come on, you can do it. Put you back into it. There we go. There. Everyone wins. Actually, I'll make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I could probably put up the restream link itself. If you watch there, I think you get everybody's whatchamacallit, everybody's comments. So, like I said, super unbelievable. No one would ever think it possible. But at one point in time, a long time ago, like this is a long time ago when Batman was very different, alright? Batman was like, hey, Robin, this Superman guy has got to go, and I'm going to kill him. I'm going to murder him, and I'm going to murder a bunch of people, I think, but mostly Superman. Should have wrote down that part. Haven't crystallized it. I think if anybody would know the right answer, it would be Drake sitting next to Avocado Shake if he is not too busy playing with cats. Who I'm apparently the uncle of, by the way. I read on a story today that Bill and Ted, but cats on Instagram, are watching their Uncle Curtis tonight. So, magic. Huh? All you gotta do is get yourself a live stream, suddenly you're a cat uncle, and a hero. So, just like in the movies, Batman was just like, no. Like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to find a way and I'm going to kill him. And Robin was like, no, don't do that, Batman. Remember, look at my little shorts. Look at how small my shorts are on my little pixie boots. I've got leggings on while you're over here wearing body armor, Batman. All right? Let's not murder Superman, please. I don't think we should murder Superman. And I'm not going to give up on this. I'm just not going to give up on this. And Batman was like, you don't even get it. You don't even get it. Excellent. Now I know one thing that Drake doesn't. He says, after he says, I don't remember for sure. I'm going to try to say this. Bolin Ho Glacial? Bolin Ho? Glacial. Bolin Hog? Glacial. Bolin Hog Glacial. Bolin Hog Glacial. What are you doing? But staying cool. Like a glacial. Thanks, Bolin. So, there was that. Now, the part about it that actually makes me go crazy. that actually makes me go crazy is, so it was only a 10-minute video. It was like 10 minutes, maybe 11 minutes maximum. And the documentary lady, whatever, YouTuber, was just like, so there's that. Like, that's where it comes from. Like, all right, cool. Oh, they're loaded. They're deadly, and they're not a good idea. That's the whole point of the thing. It's just like, but I'm gonna do this, and it's just like, no, like gunchucks are only gonna go off rampantly, and you're gonna kill yourself and everybody around you. And Milo was like, yeah, the guy at the gun store said that's what I want, but he'll be like, I'll be like the guy at the protection store, because you know it's all about how guns are not in any way protection. They are only a way to destroy. Gunchucks, 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 gunchucks. So she was like, so anyway, like this particular meme, beyond the history of the Batman slap, has been actually like a game changer, a you know, a stepping point, a something in the history of the memeing world. Like it was a, and once she started to explain that, she's like, because you know, well, you know, this particular meme came from Reddit. Actually, most memes come from Reddit. Well, a lot of people don't realize that. Like a lot of the stuff in the world comes from Reddit. I know that Reddit, you know, seems like a cesspool of hate and just horrible, just meanness for the sake of being mean and harsh judgments. But sometimes something good comes out of it, like the Robin getting slapped in the face meme. And she's like, so anyway, like it really changed things because of, and whatever her reason was, I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta press stop now. I have to press stop now because you're telling me how this is a game changer in this certain type of content creation, but what you're really saying is, hey, it was a real step forward in stealing art and repurposing it for your own needs. And again, as somebody who was like, yeah, Andy Warhol was cool, let's all do stuff like that. And that's what memes are. Like, memes are just Andy Warhol exemplified. Don't think that's the word I'm looking for. But anyway, still just like, you're taking a comic and then you're replacing the words. So you're taking the art somebody did, the one with a thing, and it's like, it works, it's great, but realistically, it's just like, did you want to make a Batman comic? Get yourself a pencil and some paper or a computer or a phone or modeling clay and a camera, I don't care what, and then make a picture of Batman, make a picture of him getting slapped or slapping somebody, and then put your own words in there. And why? Why is it actually kind of okay to just take Batman and copy it and then put words in there? Because segue to point number 2, story number 2 in today's week of nonsense. And that's the only thing. It was like where memes become okay with me again is the fact that nobody, as far as I know, for the most part, nobody takes credit for memes. It is like, here's a funny thing that it's like, I don't own this, plus 90% of the time I already took the joke from another meme or TV or somewhere else, and I just crossed them over into this one thing and put it out there, and there it is. I can't get paid for this. I don't expect to get paid for this. I can't get credit for this. I'm just assembling some stuff. And that is something that I can get behind, and it's the one thing that makes it hard for me to actually hate memes, that and the fact that, you know, 40% of the time, they are super funny and clever. But 90% of the time, they're abhorrent, just succubuses of my soul. Now, speaking of taking credit, though, so, like I said, in my rabbit holing of YouTube, usually it's either Batman or Nintendo's. I watched one specifically because the picture was the Nintendo Wii controller, the big TV one, with there's like a little square There's a little square with a little half corner line around that square on the right side of the controller. And half the time I'm like, I don't want to touch that because I feel like it's going to activate some screen thing. Or slash, this seems like a perfect place to kind of rest my thumb when I'm not using the dealie up here. But what is it for? What does it mean? I guess I could look it up. And then in the video, it had it circled. A little circle around that square. And I'm like, oh, let's watch this. And it was like, here's a bunch of stuff you didn't know about your Nintendo. And then nothing about that square. Nothing at all about that square. And I watched it all the way to the end. Ugh. Hate it when I get right to the end. And I'm like, they're not going to say the thing that sucked me into this. The thumbnail is a butt. The thumbnail is a butt. And if you don't know that reference, it's Zach Oyama? Anyway, his name is Zach from College Humor. I think he might work on like Saturday Night Live or something now. He's all over the place writing. Funniest thing ever, but it's a YouTube video from College Humor called The Thumbnail is a Butt. And they're talking about trying to come up with YouTube ideas. And he's like, the thumbnail is a butt. And they're like, yeah, but the video, he's like, doesn't matter. The thumbnail is a butt. And it's the greatest, most genius, just judgment of YouTube society ever. So, I digress. In my digression back to Batman, down the rabbit hole was a thing about how Batman is copied. And I'm just like, this sounds about right. Sounds about right. Everyone. Louis C.K., you're done. Bob Kane, what did you do? All right, like, Stan Lee, you were a big crazy cokehead who loved hookers. From what I've heard / read. But still, greatest guy in the world. As far as I know, nobody ever felt abused by you like those other people. So, I don't think I ever fall for cat clickbait, at least. So in this thing, they were like, blah, 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 here's how Batman came about. Bob Kane was like, check it out. I went to it didn't say this part. This is just from the stuff that I know. I was at the museum or whatever, and I was looking at Da Vinci's, like, flying machine, bat wings, and I just put them on the back of this, like, Flash Gordon-y looking guy. And that was it. It was like a red shirt and like blue pants, maybe a little mask, and then these big, like, dumb looking bat wings. And this other guy, I did write down, Bill Finger, was like his editor, his boss, whatever he was, his friend. And Bill Finger was like, yeah, no, how about something a little more like this, which was basically Batman. And he was like, oh, all right, I'll give that a try. So for years and years, and years and years and years, and years and years, Bob Kane created Batman. The end. I'm Bob Kane. I created Batman. I saw these bat wings and I thought, great idea. This will be a superhero. Batman was born. When it turns out that this guy was like, I don't know, I'm drawing wings on this guy. And this Bill Finger guy was like, you know what we should do with this? Make it better. And he did. So when Bill Finger died, Bob Kane was like, oh, by the way, let me just start putting on some Batman stuff. Actually, Bill Finger was, a monumental cog in the creation of Batman. It was basically his idea. Like, without him, there'd be no Batman, and I'd be a piece of garbage. Anyway, glad I finally said that. Should have did it before he died. Anyway, both of us did it. Is it? Oh, I'll probably just still keep collecting the money. Yeah, he's dead, so let's not change into the pit. Just still keep giving me the money. All right, cool, guys. I'll be in my solid gold race car mansion. Now, normally I wouldn't take the time to make fun of Bob Kane like that, but I will, because story number 3, I guess. This was still within that little Batman-y video essay. So this guy, looking back, was like, but that really was no big deal back then. Because Bob Kane and Bill Finger were already implicit in stealing Batman as it was. So the first issue of Batman is a story about how Batman. Oh yes, I was thinking like that doesn't make sense, but it does. So Bruce Wayne is hanging out with the commissioner because they're just good friends, and then a call comes in like, "Hey, we got a murder," and the commissioner's like, "Come on along. It's the 40s. Who cares about anything? Let's go see some murder. Maybe we'll see a dead body." And they go to check out the murder. And they're like, "This is nuts. Like they robbed this guy's safe and who is Bane? Bane is a Colombian crime syndicate drug lord, I believe. Not in any of the movies or cartoons. I think I saw one where Danny Trejo does the voice and was like, "Hey, check it out. Bane's not white for once." But yeah, he's supposed to be a real suave, smart guy, not a Frankenstein monster. So in the story, they go to check it out, and they're like, "This is crazy." And then there's another murder by somebody else within that same company, and then his safe is also robbed. And then on the third time, he's from Santa Prisca. Prisca. Santa Prisca. Prisca? I don't know how to read. But yeah, he's not white. I know that much. I only really knew him from some Catwoman stories. The third, I'm sure, like Batman shows up at one, and then at like the third crime, Batman shows up and catches them while the fourth partner in this company is trying to gas the third partner in the company, and Batman takes a rag and shoves it up into the gas chamber tube and saves the day. The end. Now there's this story of the Shadow, and I don't know. Again, I loved the movie The Shadow. Loved it. Tried to rewatch it a few years ago. It's hard to rewatch, but I loved it when it first came out. I had a handful of Shadow comics. I loved the style. It's good stuff. He's a fun character. He's a terrifying character. So, this Shadow story, back in the days when there wasn't a lot of stories to, pull ideas from, let's just say, or straight up copy. So this was like an 80-page book, I think they said, but it's still semi-illustrated. And in the Shadow book story, the Shadow, Lamont Cranston, is hanging out with his friend, who is, the chief of police. So the chief gets a call, or commissioner, whichever they went by back then, and he's all like, "What? Oh, a crime? That's crazy. Anyway, I'll bring my rich friend with me for no other reason other than it's the 40s. So they go. Lamont Cranston is like, "Oh, this is crazy. I'm witnessing all this stuff." That guy was murdered and his safe was emptied, and he runs like a chemical plant. Like even their jobs were the same. Everything was the same, like 100% the same, other than condensed down to a comic instead of a big long story. Excuse me. 3 guys get murdered. 4th guy is murdering the 3rd guy, or trying to murder the 3rd guy. Batman comes in, sticks a rag, the Shadow comes in, sticks a rag up in the thing, and even like the design of the gas chamber, the buttons, it's completely, like, clearly, if not traced, it looks fairly traced from the Shadow's illustrations, and there's just a bunch of other things from like other comics that Bob Kane clearly straight up traced to use for Batman. And I'm just like, all right, cool. So once again, just like we learned from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, sometimes you have to do terrible things to become good at a good thing. Like whatever he did, run guns or whatever, I don't know, helping crimes, so he make enough money so he could go do raps. And who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. And Alec Baldwin's big fake nose. So yeah, Batman, issue 1 of Batman is 100% stolen. So later on, when they're making more Shadow books, which they've done forever, it was like a radio play. It's been everything. Eventually, they started re-releasing Shadow stories, and that specific one Batman is stolen from. And on their cover they wrote like, and this is like an inspiration, or this inspired Batman. So like, you're welcome for Batman. I'm not even going to cause trouble. They didn't sue anybody. They didn't do anything. They were just like, 100 years later, whatever, 80 years later, just like, yep, this was an inspiration for Batman. And I mean, they've crossed over since. It's been a whole thing. But I mean, kind of slightly reminds me of, because it is just like, huh? How you like Batman, then you're gonna like me. Like, yeah, we love that Grey Ghost episode. Like, no! The Shadow knows! But I think it was Shark Tank. Maybe it was the Dragon's Den. Either way, this dude comes out and he's got like a set of pots, and they have like a strainer thing in them, so you can strain your spaghetti or your macaroni right from the pot. You don't gotta pour it in a strainer, and also it has the steam valve, whatever. And the Dragon Sharks were like, what are you doing right now? I have one of these at home. I have a whole set of these. Another was like, yeah, so do I. I sell them in my store. They've been around forever. What are you doing trying to tell us you invented the straining pot? And he was like, no. I invented the straining pot. Like, without me, there would be no straining pot that's out there now, and mine is actually the more correct way to do it. Like, those ones, they don't steam off and they don't strain as well as they could, because they don't follow my design, where it's down here on the side instead of on the top, or whichever, vice versa. And the Dragon Sharks were just like, so are you saying, like, wait, are we rich right now? Do you own the patent on the straining pot? Because then we own all the straining pots. I've got good lawyers. Like, we'll do this. This will be great. And he was like, no, I let that run out. So, yeah, it's public domain now. But I made the first one. So, basically, if you like Batman, then you should give me all of that Batman money. And it's like, yeah, no, we already have a Batman, though. We don't want your... the Shadow, so he'll be an indie thing for weird comic book people and avocado shakes to be like, yeah, I know what the Shadow is, or people who are a huge fan of anything Alec Baldwin did in 1992. But I honestly did, like, because of the Shadow, I'm like, yeah, Alec Baldwin's amazing. He's amazing. The same, like, Michael Keaton. Have you ever heard of him? He's just about the greatest person in the world. That's all that I know. Like, do you only know people who have been in some superhero movies? Yeah, I'm 14, and that's what I know. Also, turns out Michael Keaton's a comedian, and he might be the funniest comedian in the world. So just be prepared. We're probably going to see a lot of him doing comedy and action movies pretty much for the rest of our lives. So, get on board. But I was right about that. Michael Keaton is the greatest. He just is the greatest. I can't think of anything where he wasn't awesome in it, whether the movie was great or not. Because even Multiplicity is terrible. It is a terrible movie. But by the end of that movie, one, you're like, oh my god, I'm watching Multiplicity to the end again. What'd you do to me, TBS? What'd you do to me? TBS! You Multiplicity to me again. And, I mean, between him just being amazing and it's not Mary Steenburgen. It's the lady who I always confuse with Mary Steenburgen, but she's in everything just like Mary Steenburgen, always playing the wife who's like, what are you doing in there? Some kind of experiment? Like, it'll be okay, honey. But then, it's not a good movie. But again, Michael Keaton, like, all of his scenes, I'm still like, a lot of these are like hack jokes, but they're his hack jokes that they're hack now because he invented them. And he's just, I just really love the way he delivers things. It's like, he's my Robert Downey Jr. The way everybody else loves Robert Downey Jr. for just being like, hey, I'm over here, I'm doing this, I'm just saying things. Like, Michael Keaton was the first, aside from Bill Murray, but he's, the first one who really seriously did it, and you believed him. And then, is it called? No, it's definitely not called Dangerous Minds. It is called. Hey Siri, what's that Michael Keaton movie where he's like a criminal, but he's got to like save his daughter, and I think he's locked up somewhere. I feel like Andy Garcia is chasing him down, or Scent of a Woman, one of those two. But there's one point where he's like doing like I think maybe one-armed pull-ups or just pull-ups. I can't read that from here. Thanks, Zivamagov. Still have to figure out why my sounds don't work. Because I checked them. They should work. Don't know why they're not working. Nothing coming through this. And nothing showing up on the screen. Oh, yeah. Honestly, when I did... The reason I watched RoboCop remake was, oh, Michael Keaton's in it? Well, let's see what he's up to. And when I did a podcast about that movie, after seeing that movie, the only good thing I had to say about it was, there are some scenes with Michael Keaton where I really believe this is amazing. But then as soon as the scenes with him end, I'm like, oh yeah, this garbage dump. What does this even mean? They forgot what this movie was about. They forgot the part about the learning things and the humanity, and that's just about the shooting. No, this is what the video game's for. Make the movie with the story, and then make the video game like this, where yeah, we can shoot and jump and do cool stuff. But the movie, you need a story. And spoiler alert, hey, how much of the human part is left? A hand and some brain? I think there was still some face. I don't even remember. Yeah, there's still some face. And then it was like a little thing and then some hand. It's just like... Why did you want to remake it if you were just gonna... But, yeah, the only thing good in that whole movie was Michael Keaton. I feel like the bad guy was also Samuel L. Jackson? I might be confusing that with The Kingsman, which I didn't see. I just saw the second one with Julianne Moore, which I also thought was amazing. But yeah, Desperate Measures was the movie I was trying to think of. Michael Keaton in Desperate Measures. Oh wow, I was so impressed. That was the first time I saw him as like a serious, like super serious. Like even Batman was still like, I'm Batman. Like, yeah, you're Batman. I like this demeanor. But in that one, just like, oh my god, Michael Keaton's gonna kill somebody. And what's the other one? Desperate Measures. And is he in the one where it's like an address? And I can't remember if he is the landlord and he's trying to kill the people that he's letting rent his house, or he's living in the house and the guy who's renting them to them is trying to kill them. I think it's a remake of an older movie, or it's been remade several times, but it's like 14 Crescent Street. And once again, if it's the movie I'm thinking about, also amazing for you know, a tense thriller. And again, he's just always believable. Beetlejuice. I've been on the wrong camera this whole time. Beetlejuice. I'll say it 3 times. Beetlejuice. Believable. Like, believable. Some of the humans, most of the humans, are less believable in that movie than Beetlejuice is. Because Michael Keaton can do no wrong. Birdman and the inevitable title length of Righteousness and Redemption and Drums. Oh, such a long title. So hard to remember, but I nailed it. I can't bring myself to watch it a second time, but first time around I was just like, wow. I don't even know what I just watched. Like, did that come from Michael Keaton's head? Because it's kind of the story of the person who played Batman? Or, and again, the drums? So good. Yeah, so Batman's stolen. And, Michael Keaton's great. I'm going to clean up this bottom one first. And Kimmy Schmidt is amazing. The only thing missing from Kimmy Schmidt is Michael Keaton. But they've got a John Hamm. John Hamm, to me, he is a present-day Michael Keaton. And I'm okay with that. I'm super okay with that. The new Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix, I didn't realize at all that it was an interactive choose-your-own-adventure until I hit play and it said, hey idiot, bet you didn't realize this was an interactive choose-your-own-adventure TV program. And I said no out loud. No, you didn't. You didn't say anything. You sat there and you shoveled chips in your face so that you would have room to eat the chocolate that you had also gotten because you were a little piggy boy. Fairly true. Super true. I did go to the grocery store and I got a bunch of healthy stuff instead of snacks for once, and that way, if I only have healthy things, then I won't have to eat all the other stuff first like I normally do. So let's see how that works out. Still haven't changed this to black. There we go. Zoom in a bit. Let's go with a 5. There we go. But yeah. When has Kimmy Schmidt never not been amazing? Oh, I just love it so much. If anything, borderline, nearly one of these people that is just like, yeah, I'll play it again and see the stuff I missed. When Jenna Maroney popped up at the end and was mad at me because, well, I killed Kimmy. Excuse me. I killed her off twice, and I felt really bad about it. I felt really bad. Like, the first thing, I feel like the first decision, do you want Titus to go to the gym or take a nap? And I'm like, I know I should make the responsible decision, but Titus wants to take a nap, and it'll probably be a dream sequence. So I know it's going to give me a bad thing, but I'm going to give him a nap. So I gave him a nap, but then the next time I made him go work out, so I felt a little bit better there. But yeah, at one point I got them killed in a plane crash, and I felt bad. And then when she squares off with John Hamm, and clearly all of the options are going to get you killed except for the one that's just like, you know, do what Kimmy Schmidt would do and do the right thing. So I blew her up. I got Kimmy and John Hamm blown up. Oh, sorry. No spoil. Well, yeah. Who knows what your spoilers are going to be? And I might have accidentally helped undo the Me Too movement, which I got scolded for. But yeah, other than that, so good. How John Hamm escapes from prison. That one I kind of want to go and see the other version, but the version that I picked, I'm just like, oh my god! It's like, how is this show this funny? And I know the answer is Tina Fey, but wow, how? And I know like John Hamm on his own is hilarious. He's so funny, so funny. But I will admit, the interactiveness of it, I was just like, no, I just want to watch a show right now. I was very geared up to watch a show. But it was still like, if you don't want to make decisions, you can just sit there and wait. And it's also hilarious how they wait. Like, oh, the timing of it, everything's so good. So I did have that option, but mostly it was like I kept feeling guilty every time a decision came up where I'm like, ugh. Should be a good person here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if you don't do anything, it'll mostly probably take you through the true events without killing you off. But yeah, so good. There is a part that literally I'm just like, that was, if you did pick, so when he took the nap, I'll spoil this part, but the option is wake up Titus or let Titus keep napping. And I'm like, again, like, there's gonna be a dream sequence or something, but even if there isn't, I will just be like, bravo, Tina Fey and team. That's what I would have wanted to. An option where it is like, nope, just watch him nap. And, oh, it was great. But yeah. But if you don't already watch the show, I could see you just like being like, what is this and why? But yeah, I would start at the beginning of the show, and that would suck you in so that when you came around to this thing, which is years later, it'll actually mean something. Like, I couldn't imagine. Like, I never watched Bandersnatch, because I didn't watch most, if, you know, yeah, most of the Black Mirrors I haven't watched. I just watched a few. I think the one I did watch was the John Hamm one. I think John Hamm's the one that's programming the lady inside of the Siri or the Google egg. But yes, I'm just like, nope, this is what my dreams are like already, so I can't watch my dreams as a TV show. I need to sleep someday. Should have looked up what a gun looks like. Ah, well. Close enough. That's the music from the Ninja Turtles movie. It's always in my head. You know what I spent a good chunk of the weekend doing? Aside from playing Sega for 2.5 hours? It was like after or before I was playing Sega for 2.5 hours. I went on a little video game mission. So I've got a Nintendo Wii U, and I've got a PlayStation 3. And yes, I realize I'm 1,000 years behind what's going on. But you can still download content from their online stores. So let's take a look for some things. Ninja Turtles the movie is already on Netflix. I was just watching it like 2 weeks ago. Or very, very recently. The first one, anyway. Like with Elias Koteas and Judith Hogue as April O'Neil. Yeah, that's right. That's a name that's broken. Oh, your Amazon Prime didn't have the turtles. What a waste. What a waste. So, speaking of Ninja Turtles and video games, I was thinking, oh yeah. Also, speaking of Streets of Rage, you know what I really want to play is the Ninja Turtles side-scrolling beat 'em up. Not the old Nintendo one, but the one for like the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo. And I'm like, well, the Super Nintendo one must be in my box, in my Magic Wii U box, right? And digging through, and it's like, no, it's not. Like, well, looking through, like, oh, they did a version for the PlayStation. Digging through, like, no, it's not there. Oh, they did a remake version like they did of DuckTales, which I do have out there. I've got actually a big stack of PlayStation games that we will go through. Some of them probably amazing, some of them terrible. Most of them stuff I've either played before in an old Nintendo version, or it's just I just rebought it again for the PlayStation 3 from when I had a PlayStation 3 years ago. What am I doing? So, just like the DuckTales remastered, there's like a 3D. Sounded like mixed reviews of it, but for the most part, I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I want to play. It was the old Ninja Turtles arcade game that was ported to the Sega and Super Nintendo, and then redone again in cool 3D for the PlayStation 3. And I'm like, all right, like that's what I have. Looking through, and it's there, but there's no price on it. And I'm like, I'm willing to give you my money for this. It's the only thing I want to do with the rest of my day right now is give you money for this and then play it on stream. Give me this Ninja Turtles game. Why isn't it here? I didn't even get that far in the DuckTales one, actually. I threw it on, and I was like, I'll save this for streaming. But then it was like, is this 9 levels of just tutorial? Like, classic Capcom on the Nintendo DuckTales is excellent. Or just, I one of the few games I remember just playing and still enjoying it. And this one I was just like, ugh, version is just not, it's just not the same. So I go to the internet, and like before I can even finish typing in, why can I get no Hyperstone Heist Ninja Turtles adventure over here? And the rest of the internet is like, hey, where's the Ninja Turtles from the store? Why isn't it here? And the answer is, it came out a long time ago, and like the license to, I don't know, Fox Kids, Fox, all of the companies that own Ninja Turtles ran out, so they just took it out of the store, but they still just leave it in there for you to look at and see that you can't have it. Hey, look at what we used to have. Like, that's infuriating. It's infuriating. Rod Gilbert has a whole, like, almost a whole special that's all about this, except his is about a sandwich that he can't have, because, like, no, that's the display sandwich, and it's the last one, so I take that down. People won't know what kind of sandwiches we have, but it's the last one, so you don't actually have any of these sandwiches unless you sell me the display sandwich. And the guy's like, yeah, but I can't because blah, blah, blah. So it's that whole thing. So that's what's in the store, and I'm like, there has to be a way. But it was only ever made for, like, digital download, so it just didn't exist. So I'm like, whatever, you win this round. Whilst trying to find that one, another Ninja Turtles game popped up. Also 3D, but definitely newer. And I'm going to say that it seemed to be have come out long before the Out of the Shadows movie, the new Michael Bay, the newest Ninja Turtles movie. But it was called Out of the Shadows. So I think it might have been for that movie. And my years are just super off. Why am I taking so much time to try and care about this chain when I'm just half-assing it anyway? And it's going to be small. So this one still looked pretty good because it had both, hey, here's your story mode where you're playing this 3D adventure where all the turtles are coming and you can switch between them, and the fighting seems an awful lot like the Batman Arkham City type fighting, and I'm like, yeah, I'm down for this. Where do I find this game? This also doesn't exist in the Play Store, and I think it might not exist as a disc as well. So I'm like trying to find that, and it's just like, nope, it doesn't exist. But if you want to play it, you just create an account for your PlayStation that's in Japan, and then download it there, and blah 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 blah, because that's the only place anything exists anymore. So, let's unfold my leg. Oh, jeez, let that blood flow back down to my feet. So there's like literally like 2 games I got super excited to find and play, and found them that they basically didn't exist. So both of them were just like, no, like licenses already run out. Like that shouldn't be a thing in the Nintendo world, for sure. In the PlayStation, Nintendo, like how it's all overlapping. I'm like, whatever. So that was, that level of disappointment. Was I super sad? No. Really don't care. I've got plenty of video games that I still haven't even touched. And yeah, we'll take the time to go through them all, and I will make up different stories for what's actually happening. And I don't usually give you 4 fingers, do I? There we go. But there is another. You're not going to say that in a Yoda voice? You're not going to go, there's another. Is that a Yoda voice? Is that? No. But yeah, there's one more that's like, I can't remember what it's called, but just like, Turtles Back in Manhattan. And it's got kind of a weird semi-cell shadery, like, almost weird like outlines, but still 3D, and like it kind of looks like it might be awesome, but it also looks like it might drive me crazy. But that's the only one that seems to still exist as a game that I could possibly buy from like an eBay or something. But I really would rather those other ones. Plus, I'm cheap and I don't like spending a lot of money. Finally finished my taxes. They apparently want more money, even though I thought for sure. Nailed it. Nailed it this year. Gonna get one of those sweet little refunds like everyone else always gets. And last year I did, so I'm like, nothing's really changed. I'm mostly working too much, so I haven't been making like extra money for like the no such thing as grown-ups part of my taxes. So it's like, this isn't gonna get out of hand. Yeah, I grabbed oh, I disappointed myself, speaking of games, buying things. But yeah, well, I went into the Nintendo store. I don't have my like credit card set up to any of these things, so I don't just go like, I'll just buy another game. On a whim, I'll always go get myself a gift card at the grocery store first, and then buy something with that. So I figured like, I'll get $20 of Nintendo bucks, and I'll get a few Nintendo games. So I got Mario 2 again, because I know that I will play that whenever I'm bored. I still don't get bored of Mario 2. But I also wanted Mario 3. But for some reason, I'm like, I don't want to just buy Mario 3 again. Mario Party, Mario Karty. I don't have any Mario Party. I only ever played that once for the GameCube, which is the only time I've ever played a GameCube. And it was fun, because it was like a party already. But after a little while, it was just like, yeah, like, guys, this is just a shake a thing around game. I'm gonna go hang out with the girls instead of this. And then I did. Oh yes, it was just like drifting through the Wii U store, and then I keep seeing Mario 4, which is Mario 3 Advanced for the Game Boy Advanced. And I thought, oh, cool. It looks from here like it's Mario 3, except I assume probably completely different levels. So I'll get Mario 3 Advanced 4 for the... I think it was even $2 more than the regular $4.99 for a Nintendo game. Classic, NES game. Loaded up, somewhat excited to be like, oh, like Mario 3 mechanic with new levels. Like, yeah! And it starts... And I'm like, oh, right on. Like, this is dead on. This is 100% Mario 3. Like, they nailed it. Like, it still has slightly different graphics. I'm not even sure. Is this better or worse? Like, I think I might even like them better, but also not as much. Because, nostalgia convert. And, the first screen of the level, I'm like, cool. Yeah, new levels. And then, like, the second screen over, I'm like, oh no, I remember this now. This is exactly level 1. And I'm just playing to, like, level... That's why I'm wearing a mask, in case you sneeze all over the place. Yeah, no, that's why I'm supposed to wear a mask. Your mask wearing is to protect me in case you sneeze or breathe. And that's why I kind of technically want to scream at people. I want to walk around with my mask on and scream, oh, you hate me? You want me to die? Is this attempted murder? I'm going to call the cops because you're an attempted murderer right now. Because you don't care about me. You don't care about anybody right now. I'm doing my best. This is the only thing I can do to make sure I'm not spitting on you and out into the air. But you don't care, though. That's fine. That's fine. You're welcome. You're welcome for my caring, but I hate you, and I would like to perform a citizen's attempted murder arrest, because you're attempted murdering me right now. Butterfly in the sky. Gazoonta? Nope. Gazoontice. Keeps it fly. So yeah, that was the first Nintendo purchase where I was like, alright, cool. It's different, but it's still... if I'm just going to get Mario 3, I'd rather get Mario 3. Can I return this? Is there a return button? I only had it open for a second. Like, can I... Nope. Once you buy it, you got it. Like, alright, you win this round. You win this round, Nintendo. So, at least that is still slightly different. And then, since pandemic is over, it's all over, and it's just summer vacation outside, and everyone's just out on summer vacation now, and everything's normal, that I went out into the world because I'm just like, I feel insane for not going out and enjoying this great summer vacation like everyone else. It's weird because it's both. It's both. It's got Mario 4 and Mario 3 on the same title, and of course that's going to be confusing. But yeah, Friday I had the day off for the first time in a while, and I'm like, all right, you know what's gonna be fun for a day off? Getting some laundry done, cause I can't do this anymore, and everything seems kind of open, and the laundromat has a sign that says, like only 3 people at a time. Everything's kind of spaced out, and I'm like, all right, I feel okay about this. Again, I'm gonna be in here with my mask and the only one. Washed all my clothes. And then had a few errands to run. I went to Staples to print some stuff off for CTK, and I did it wrong. I brought the wrong file, so I made a very crappy print. It was very cheap, so I didn't care. I'm just like, I will consider this a proof of how the size will look at least. I'm going to go home and get the other file, but in between all that, I did groceries and all these things, and mostly the fact that there were so many people. Like, I'm stuck in traffic? It's the middle of the day on a Friday. Everybody's supposed to be, oh yeah, nobody goes to work anymore. And people who work from home don't work from home. They just go have summer vacation all the time. I'm the only idiot that sits at my desk all day. So everyone's out here. Cool, I guess I'll just have a panic attack in traffic for a little while until I can get home again. So then by the time I got home the first time, I'm just like, hey CTK, I'll get your picture tomorrow. I can't go back out there again. I've already done too much and I'm exhausted. And I just can't do it again. I've been out too much. Plus, I go to the laundry, come back here, wash my hands, disinfect, even rinse out and dry out my mask, and then go to the grocery store and whatnot. Is this really how your legs are going to be? I don't want to go on a ship. But yeah, I was like totally just paranoid, apprehensive, anxious about going outside because I'm like, I mean, we talked about it last week. Just that, where I'm like, this is high school. Like, this is high school all over again. I'm afraid of being the guy who wears a mask. Like, yep. Sorry, I have the news. I don't know. Well, especially that. Like, you got to deal with people. Active cases are just the active ones. There's still God knows how many inactive cases that are just transmitting around. Again, it's just a virus that's just jumping from body to body. Osmosis Jones, people. Osmosis Jones. It's the one thing that movie taught us is that viruses are jumping from body to body. There is still people wearing masks, but yeah, the day I was out, I was fully just like, everybody who was wearing a mask had it down around their chin, and I'm just like, you're making me feel crazy. Because I literally have a hard time breathing. Not because, like, I'm suffocating the mask, just because, like, once it's on, even, like, Halloween masks are the same deal. I'm just like, like, just breathe normal. Like, can't. If I'm wearing this, then it means something is up. And in this case, it's the pandemic of the world, or Halloween, which is a pandemic for the night. So yeah, I'm still like going to be like, yep, doesn't matter. I'm old enough now. I'm not like, hey, if you want to be cool, you got to be cool. Mike Drake sent a post by Daquan. And yeah, now I'm old where I'm just like, hey, if all your friends were jumping off a bridge, go jump off a bridge with them. I don't need you here, you COVID kids. I'll be over here with a mask, not jumping off bridges. And that's what makes me cool. Marge Simpson. The reference is in there somewhere. I'll drive with my mask on every once in a while, mostly just because I don't want to be adjusting it too much. But now I redid the elastics on it, so it actually stays in place better now, so it's a little more fine, so I can just be like up and down. But before it was kind of loose, so I'm just like, I'm just fidgeting with this forever. Should just let it go. Yeah, like I don't go too far. Like you work at a hospital and stuff, so again, you're definitely gonna take more precautions. But yeah, I want to make another mask soon, or order some. But yeah, the show's over anyway, pretty much. But yeah, I went over to CTK's to drop off some cat art, and one, I thought that she lived about 5 streets in one direction, which is where I thought my friends used to live, which was wrong, because turns out they do live on the street where she lives, or they used to, and it's just right across the street. So first I went in the wrong direction for way too long, and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot the art. So I went back, then I'm like, before I go too far, let me just check my phone. Oh, it's actually just over here, and then I still kind of did a bit of a loop and connected back to where she lives, and then once I got there, I'm just like, I already live on this street. This is the same street that I live on. I had no idea that street turns into this street right after where you used to live. Oh my god, it's just right up the street. Anyway, that's not the funny part. Maybe it is. But the interesting, the terrifying, crazy part is standing there talking to CTK. Here's your artwork, here's whatever. And it's like there's a bit of distance, so it's like, all right, it's already a little bit hard to hear, I guess. I don't know. And I'm just like, is it just this mask? I'm having a real hard time, like, just focusing on anything that's being said. It's hard to hear. It's hard to breathe. This is starting to kind of freak me out. So I'm just like, all right, it's fine. I don't even care. So I took my mask down so I could breathe and talk. And plus, it's like, it's CTK. So, and, we're far enough away. Everything's fine. take my mask down. Then I still am just like, I'm still getting overwhelmed over here. Like, I can't quite understand what she is saying, or I can't focus on the words that are coming out of my own mouth. Like, why? And I completely, because like I've got elastics and stuff around my head already, it took away the fact that I'm like, oh, I have headphones in. I have music playing, but it's low enough that I can still hear, but it's still just loud enough that it's completely throwing off everything. And I'm just getting so frustrated. But I'm just like, like, why? Why can't I'm just like, oh, I gotta tear this? Like, oh, it was headphones the whole time. I'm stupid. But same deal. And yeah, it was just like, it's like the first time I've seen people I know in real life was, yeah, both on Saturday. So like Saturday afternoon. No, yes. 2 different days. Saturday I saw CTK. And on Friday, when I was doing my errands, I went to Walmart, which was so terrifying because, did I do the grocery store first? I was already freaked out at the grocery store because, like, there was one lady that just kept going opposite. And just, like, no matter where I was, and just, like, oh my god, lady, like, I'm already singing behind my mask and under my breath way too loud, and you're really making me go louder with just the, hey, at the grocery store today. And everyone's going the wrong effing way, and nobody seems to care. And I have to go and cut my own hair, but you're going here and there. And these arrows don't matter to you. And I'm just making this up now, just like I was then. I have no idea if that's even remotely the same. But not very loud, but I'm just like getting so freaked out. I'm like, I should just say something, but this is definitely also the kind of old lady that's going to be like, what? Meh. It's over. We're not doing that anymore. And I'm just like, I don't want to get yelled at by an old lady. I just want to get those bananas to put in my juice. Can I just get some bananas to put in my juice? And I mean, again, just trying to avoid people. So then, yeah, I went to Walmart because my razor finally gave way and gave out. So I was like, well, I got to get a new razor to trim my beard / head. I guess I'll go to Walmart. Get to Walmart and it's just like, this is normal Walmart. Oh my god. And I was like, I almost didn't even realize there were arrows on the ground because it just seemed like everybody was everywhere. But on my way in, Nellie was in front of me. My friend Nellie, who lives in town, who I haven't seen in months. And then I'm just like, what do I do? I'm just going to walk up and be like, hey, how's it going? Like, she's got big headphones on. And I'm just like, ugh. I'll text. So I sent her a text like, hey, I'm behind you at Walmart. But while I was texting that, I was just like, oh, now she's gone. And I wrote, oh, lost you while I was texting that. Send. And for some reason, when I go to Walmart, my phone just it goes into limbo. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't send or receive text properly anymore. But everywhere else, it seems to be fine. But once I get there, it's just like, no, you're in no man's land now, dog. So as I'm walking around Walmart, I'm like, oh, lost her. Ah, well, see her in a few months, I guess. And then I notice, oh, my phone didn't even send that. Like, thanks, Walmart. Data on, send through that, go. Find a razor, and then see her again, looking at God knows what. So then I walk over, stand about 12 feet away, and do this until she looks. Because, again, headphones are on still, I think. She's got a mask on. Everybody's being responsible and great. And, yeah, same deal. She was just like, oh, like, oh yeah, like I almost hugged you. She's like, but yeah, you can't do that. Like, no, everything's crazy. Anyway, I'll just stand over here, yell things at you. You'll talk normally, I guess, and then that's it. You got to get back to work. I'm doing errands. And then away you go. 'Cause it's COVID times. How you gonna hug when your friends can't be hugged? Anyway. That's all the drawing I feel like doing tonight anyway. To be super honest, like even last week I was just like, I can't, I already said I was going to do a stream and I can't wait to do a stream. This is fun for me. But I didn't do the dishes. I didn't do the dishes for like maybe a week, maybe even more than a week. And I can't do that. And realizing like when it came time to stream how much I'm just like, oh no. But if I had done the dishes, I'd be like, yeah, I'm capable of things. So eventually I finally did the dishes like Friday or Saturday. And I'm like, oh, I am a functional person. Hey, look at me. It really was just that, like having that one thing hanging over me. Because normally in order to function in my life, it is just like the bed cannot be made or just partially made and I can still function. But the dishes, I'm just like, I can't make food if the dishes are dirty. I can't do anything, and I can't just go out and eat. But I've been doing that instead, where I'm like, all right, gloves, mask, hat, coat, hood, saran wrap, and I'm going to McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. And then I'm just like, oh, wow, this is not good for me because I can barely even finish this before I have to go to the bathroom. Is it just efficient? Or is it terrible? But yeah, and that was mostly what it was. Was like, I know that there isn't a lot of dishes there, but it looks overwhelming because of the way they're stacked. If I had a double sink, not as big of a deal. But since it's just the one sink, it's just like, this is fine. And when I had a dishwasher at one of my apartments, I was like, this is great. And water was included and heat, I think. But then I'm just like, I only really have enough dishes for me. So, I'm always just kind of washing one or two dishes, and then I'm like, all right, let's just put it all in. And yeah, I get into nice modes. Like, my happiest modes are when it is I eat something, and then I can wash half of it while something's cooking or being put together. And or it's so super easy that it's like, I just made a salad. I just have to wash this knife, this fork, and this bowl or plate. That's no big deal. And maybe a glass. But anyway, I found that, yeah, felt 1,000 times more like doing things like, hey, I can stream playing video games now because I did the dishes. It's definitely some sort of psychological thing. It's wedged in there. I grow wary of this. And your nonsense, and your Nintendo histories, and your Batman memes. Seriously, can we be done now? I'm tired and I want to go to bed, and I don't like you anymore. Is that okay to say? I think that's okay to say. I also would like to retire to the darkness from whence I came. Hey, the button did work right, so it opened up to me. Anyway, see you next Tuesday. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Hey, there we go. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, as per usual. Anybody who's new, nosuchthingasgrownups.com is where there's links to books and the YouTube and everything. All the links are there. There's well over 100 videos that are just like skits and weird things of me and the cat, or me and some real people. There's a podcast called No Such Thing as Grownups, or me and Tara, who's a real person, not an imaginary cat, discuss the things of the day. And I forgot about something else last week that I was like, oh yeah, that thing to mention, but then I didn't. And I'm going to do it again this week, I guess. YouTube, podcast, books and stuff and art. More books on the way. I have to run that through some printing type things. And more streams. Damn it. Cannot remember what I was going. Nothing's on the notes. Instagram. If you are new, no such thing as grown-ups on Instagram, so all the things that I draw or am going to draw usually announced on Instagram. So that's the most up-to-date place, I think. If you want to follow the No Such Thing as Grown-Ups Facebook page, technically it's as up-to-date as the Instagram because it feeds over from the Instagram. But I check the Instagram more. But, just rambling now. I got nothing else to say about the things and the things. Anyway, I'm also here, Sarah.
Meow. 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 Meow.
Yes. Play the credits. Goodbye, guys. Have a good night. Get some sleep. And, yeah. Maybe we'll play some video games tomorrow night. Commentary video games with some crazy songs that are lame. Music by Jordan Riley. Woo! How do I stop?